Hi there, I am Anne Marie and I am the board chef. I have been in food my whole life. Started with my very Italian grandmother, my very Greek grandfather, where I would spend time with my grandmother in the kitchen, sitting on the counter, drinking coffee with Cool Whip in it, and making big pots of marinara and sauteing peppers and onions, and I can still smell those today. And then my very Greek grandfather baking cutabiettas and baklava, and I was hooked. I started working in the industry when I was 14 years old at Martha Ann's Pies across the street from the original Marie Callender's. Obviously Marie Callender's made it, Martha Ann's didn't, but that's where I learned that pie filling didn't come off a tree, it came out of a 5-gallon plastic tub. Hooked. And I've been in the business ever since. So I do, like I said, primarily private chef work, and I'm specializing in artisan cheese and charcuterie. And my goal today is to bring what I do to your home and to you. I want you to be able to do this for your guests, for your family, anybody who comes to visit. I don't want you just piling a hunk of brie and a pile of grapes onto a platter or a board. I want you to do something artistic with it, and I'm going to show you how. So the first thing I want you to think about before you start making your board is your trip to the grocery store. I don't want you to buy anything normal. I don't want you to buy anything that you've seen before or tried before. I want you to try something new, things of different colors. Look at this, is a purple moon. Things from different countries. Look at this, this is a mamette from France. Look at how beautiful this is. And I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that properly, but that's okay. Look at the pattern on this baby manchego from Spain. So you've got all your cheeses, and I want you to have a starting point. Today we're going to start building on this board right here. This could be your board, this could be your countertop, this could be your tabletop, this could be your coffee table. You're going to put your cheese wherever you want to put it and you're most comfortable entertaining off of or gifting to. So I like to start with brie just because it's very easy to work with. I think it's pretty once you layer it. Everybody loves brie, and it gives me a great starting point. So here's how I normally start. So we're gonna be on this beautiful board right here, and I'm gonna start a pattern. And this pattern can go in a straight line, it can go in a circle, it can go in a curve. You can use your whole wheel of brie, you can use part of it, you can feed it to anybody who might stop by while you're doing your work. People stop by and visit me all the time when I'm doing this, and they sit at the counter and they eat the scraps. So there's our starting point. So this is where you're gonna work off of. So look at this. This is from Van Cass. This is a smoked Gouda, and I love the Gouda next to the brie. And I'll tell you why. I can cut it the same way, but it's not the same height as the brie is. It's got a completely different color and it has a completely different texture. And I like the flavors together. So if somebody were to pick up a piece of brie and a piece of Gouda at the same time, they're going to have what I think is complementing flavors. So let's build it this way. So see how your Gouda is almost but not quite the same height as the brie. You can still see your brie, but look at how pretty that Gouda is. Look at the rind on there. I think that's fabulous. So again, just like the brie, I don't think I'm gonna use all of it. And when you're doing this, you're going to make your decisions based on the board or the platter or the counter or the table that you're working on. And again, here's another piece for company. So let's play for a second with some of our meats. This is a soppressata. Look at this, from Fiorici. It's thick. And I like to do this with it for absolutely no rhyme or reason. Again, there's no explanation. We're just totally playing here. And I want you to use this like it's a cracker. I don't want you to have crackers all over your board when you can have a piece of meat. So can you imagine a piece of this soppressata with a piece of this Gouda or some of this brie? No cracker. Two completely different tastes, two completely different textures, two completely different flavors. And what would be really exciting is if you went to a divergent third flavor with that cracker and that soppressata, and maybe you put some jam with it, or some honeycomb, or some dried fruit. So right here we have some raspberry. So this is raspberry preserves. How beautiful is that? So now we're gonna start getting, our board will start looking exciting. We're getting some color happening here. So this is the Purple Moon from Fiscalini Farmstead. One of my very favorites, and I think that you're probably gonna hear me say that a lot because they're all my favorites. But it's a wine washed rind. Look at the purple, look at this. So delicious. So let's do something fun here because we put this bowl here. So let's just kind of work around this bowl because we don't want to just be in the same shape as the brie and the Gouda that we started with. But look at the purple rind of that Fiscalini Purple Moon next to the raspberry preserves. And you can eat this rind, it's edible. Look how pretty that is. I love that. I hope you do too. So let's go to this one. This is a cheddar from Newbridge, Mediterranean herbed cheddar. So as you can see, these cheeses that we have on there now are just, for lack of a better word, plain. They don't have any color inside the cheeses. So this has been infused with Mediterranean herbs. And again, one of my favorites. Hold on a second, we're almost to the salami roses. I know that's what you're waiting for. So let's just put a little bit of this here. So look at how the color complements the colors in the Gouda. So let's make a flower because I think this hole right here needs a flower. What do you think? So this is a calabrese. This is also from Bussetto. Look it, it's already sliced. You don't even have to slice it. And this is a shot glass. This is for your salami roses, not for your beverage. So we're going to put our calabrese in about halfway. And let's do maybe 6 or 7 slices, twisting the shot glass with every slice. Can you see the way I'm turning it? Kind of pressing it down. I hope you're counting because I lost count. Look at the herbs in there. Look at that. So I'm pressing this down against my shot glass. I'm going to press my shot glass against the board and I'm going to twist a little bit. And then we have a salami rose. I know you can look online everywhere and see how to make roses. I've never looked at one. Don't want to ever look at one because I think what we're doing here is going to be okay. So one of the secrets to my boards, I think is a secret, is I like to do things that are divergent. So think about things in threes. And I took a class many, many years ago and the teacher, actually his name was Roy Williams and he has a school just outside of Austin. He's the Wizard of Ads. And I took a class from him when he very first started and he talked about divergency and the threes. So picture this, a very handsome man and he's in a tuxedo and he's got a black cummerbund bun on and a black tie on and a crisp white shirt. So he's just gorgeously handsome in his tuxedo. And then he puts something of color, vibrant color in his pocket. So he puts in a pocket square that's, I don't know, bright yellow, bright red. And it makes his whole look completely different and exciting because he went from just that black and white to that black and white and a pop of color. So I like to do a lot in threes. So we're gonna do 3 flowers right here. And we'll do that pattern several times throughout our board. And I know one of the things you're probably thinking now is, well, how much cheese should I buy? So it really depends upon the number of people that you're going to have. Depends upon if it's just a light graze before dinner or if it's actually dinner, which in this case I think it would be perfect as actually dinner. So I like to do anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 pound per person of cheese. But it again depends on if you want this to be a huge meal or you want it just to be a light graze. So this is a Swiss from Grand Suisse from Switzerland. Look at how beautiful this is. Look at the holes in here. So when I talk about this cheese, I like to talk about how you need to let the cheese tell you how to cut it, or let the cheese tell you what it wants you to do with it. I'm going to show you what I like to do with the Swiss. Don't know why, it's just absolutely the cheese speaking to me. I like to cut it into triangles. I like the points, and the cheese is strong enough to hold up. So as you can see, I've cut this into points. And then I like to play with it this way. So let's put it somewhere fun. What do you think? So we're growing our board, because really we want to fill almost the whole thing. So there's some Swiss. So again, now we're really getting away from our pattern from the brie and the soppressata and the Gouda, and we're starting to go in a different direction. I think we're going to keep the Swiss here with us because we may do some more with it. So I said in the very beginning, we want to be cognizant of colors and textures and letting the cheese tell us what we want to do with it. So this is a very fruity dessert cheese from France, and I'm going to show you right now why I like it so much. Pretend you're in France and you're somewhere fabulous and you're having a dessert cheese plate. But look what this is going to do for us. It's just giving some color and some dimension. The cheese told us how it wanted to be cut. It told us the direction it wanted to go in. And look at the personality that it gave to our roses right there. I think that's fabulous. I hope you do too. So that leads me to, I hear people say all the time, I don't like goat cheese. What I have to tell them is that they probably haven't had fabulous goat cheese. So please, when you're buying your product, get yourself some fabulous goat cheese. So this is from Vermont Creamery. It's an herbed goat. So this is going to give your board a completely different texture, completely different colors, completely different look. Here, let's just cram this one on here. There you go, because we have to use the whole thing. Okay, so we've cleaned up a little bit and we've got our board started, and now I just want to play. And I hope you're feeling the same way. So this is a baby manchego. This comes from Spain. And one of the reasons that I really like to use it, not only because of its texture and the fact that it's amazing to eat, but because I can do this with it. You know, you see boards with little triangles and little castles, and I like to slice it this way so I can bring some dimension to the board. And we're gonna add some color in a second, and I think we're gonna need to add a few more flowers because I wanna make sure that you are comfortable making flowers. So here's my baby manchego, and you can do this with any harder round cheese. So let's put this up here by our goat, just for fun. And I'm gonna take our rosemary, fresh herbs, doesn't have to be rosemary. I just love rosemary. I love the color. I love the smell that it gives to your board. And you can get rosemary year round. So here's some rosemary. So look we're getting a little more exciting. These are sweetie peppers. These are from a company out of Greece called Divina, and they do an amazing job. We actually have some olives over there from them that are tangerine and chili that you will crave after you have them the first time you've had them. So look at our board. Look at the colors we've got going on. So I want to throw a couple more flowers on there. So this is a salami just a dried salami from Prosciutto, and as you can see, again, I'm going halfway. The piece is halfway down the shot glass. And by the time you're finished with this, you're going to want to be drinking out of this shot glass. But I see a hole that we have in here, and I think it needs a flower. So here you go. What do you think? Do you agree? Now I want to play with some different sizes and different shapes. So this is a truffled brie. This is from Marion French. They are out of California. Look at this brie in here. So again, different flavors, different textures, different look inside. So you can actually see the truffles in here. So let's just strategically place this so that it's going to give a little more dimension to what we already have on there. And I feel like we've got half this board finished and the other half is definitely needing some help. So let's use some of this log. This is a black pepper salami log. This is from Prosciutto, California. And I like buying it in the log because I can cut a thicker shape. So this isn't something that you are going to use to make a flour with. This is something that you're going to use, again, as a cracker, like the soppressata, or you're just gonna have it stand alone because it's that yummy. Look at the pepper falling off of there. How yummy is that pepper gonna be with some of our dried fruit? I mentioned dried fruit. That was lovely. That is actually some fig salami from Hellenic Farms. So here are some apricots. And I want you to use those apricots also as if they were a cracker. The combination of a piece of meat and a dried fruit and a great piece of cheese, off the charts. The textures, the fruity flavors, and as you can see, I'm putting them down in threes. So again, our divergent, 3. Here's some dried mango. Look at this. So this is definitely not your board with a hunk of grapes and a wedge of brie. This is definitely something a little bit more exciting for you to share with your guests. Here are some dried cherries. Look at the colors. And we're filling up some holes. Okay, look at this mess I've made. Let's make some room here. And let's see what else we can play with. Let's play with this. This is a drunken goat. This is from Spain. And I like to do this cheese this way. So like I said, the cheeses will speak to you. So I cut this into a triangle. This is what you're gonna eat on your grilled cheese later on. And I'm gonna slice our triangle. That's the scrap pile for the cameraman. What do you think? And it's all right that you're setting this on top of some of that pepper because you want to eat those together anyway. So I think the triangles here complement the triangles in the Swiss. And now let's touch this that we played around with. This is from Hellenic Farms. This is a fig salami. And this fig salami has been seasoned with citrus and pepper. So it kind of shocks people when they first taste it. So here is our fig salami. This is vegan and I love it. Very fruit forward, obviously, because of the figs. Take your stems off your figs if you do use any. These are Turkish figs. Take your stems off because you don't want anybody eating them. What do you think? More dimension? And let's do a couple of prosciutto fans because I see a place. So most of your prosciutto will come sliced like this. You can see it's on a piece of paper. You want to work with it when it's a little bit more chilly because once it gets warm, it will all stick together. So I fold mine in half. This is the way I do it. There's no right way or wrong way, just like building your board. There's no right way or wrong way. Every board's going to be different. But I think you saw that I just folded that, and we'll do another one. I'll try and do it a little more slowly. So I just filled that hole by the truffle brie. I'm going to fold it in half towards the paper. And then I'm just going to do it like a fan. Here we go. What do you think? This is an English cheddar from Excalibur. And I love the way this cheese crumbles, and you will love the way that it tastes, especially with a really crisp rosé. So here we have some English cheddar from Excalibur. And I am filling the holes. What do you think? Are you hungry yet? Do you need a glass of wine yet? I'm gonna throw some of this Mediterranean herbed Gouda next to this black pepper salami, just because I like the looks of that right there. I think I want some of this Marin French truffle brie because we've got several spots that it would look really pretty in. My mouth is watering. I hope yours is too. All right, we're gonna clean up. We're gonna clean our board, we're gonna clean our knife, we're gonna clean our workspace, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about the direction that we're going in, but I want to show you a couple things that I do all the time that people really think are fun. So I took our baby manchego back, so here it is, and instead of doing this again with the baby manchego, I'm going to cut it in a little bit of a thicker slice with my newly washed knife, and I'm going to take these little baby cookie cutters. So you're making a board for your child's engagement party and you want to impress everybody. Look at this, we now have a heart. So let's put that heart somewhere fun. So I cut 3 pieces because again, our 3 divergent numbers. So here we have a star. Let's see if we can make a star out of here. I think that's too small. We're gonna do another heart. But look at this star. How cute is this? 4th of July. Look at this flower, Easter, spring. So look at the fun things that you can do to personalize your board and make it something that is all yours. That baby manchego is perfect to do that with. There we go. So we've got some room over here. Let's just play with this in the short amount of time that we have left. So there are these tangerine and chili olives that we talked about from Divina. We're gonna balance that with the raspberry. Here are some Marcana almonds from Bella Maria, salted and roasted. So think about the textures again, the salt and the texture of the nut, the crunchiness of the nut with a cheese that's probably a little bit more creamy. Here are some more of those sweetie peppers. Let's throw them on there. I'm gonna put these down here in this hole. So let's put those cherries in that hole. Let's put this mango up here. Again, there's our 3, and here's some of our figs. So I think that you're about ready. I think that you could probably put this out for some company, or you could make it on a smaller board and give it as a gift. Say you're going to a housewarming or just a party and you want to gift somebody with a board. So there you go, that's all we have. Look at these wonderful cheeses left. So you'll have to stay tuned next time. We'll show you some more cheeses, some different cheeses, a little bit of different look. We may even make some more flowers out of some different dry-cured meats. So I'm Anne Marie, I'm the board chef. You can find me on Facebook, The Board Chef, on Instagram, the.boardchef, or even on the web, www.theboardchef.com. Thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun doing this for y'all. Hope you follow up and make some boards of your own.